So it's Mario's 35th anniversary. What else can I say about everyone's favourite Italian plumber that hasn't already been said? He started off as your average Joe in your arcades, and now he's one of the most iconic characters in video game history. If that's not a glow-up, I don't know what is. The Big M has had a pretty successful NES and SNES career, spawning some absolutely excellent platformers, which would pave the way for how his games would play out in the future. But eventually, when the N64 came out, it was time for Mario to dream big and finally make his mark on pop culture. And I think it's safe to say they absolutely nailed it with 1996's Super Mario 64, a game which is still considered to this day to be one of the greatest video games ever made. And not just that, this year also marks the 35th anniversary of the original Super Mario Bros. Game's release on the NES. And as a means of celebration for this, well, the Big N only went and released a collection of some of Mario's greatest games, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. And I mean, I'm not going to say nobody saw it coming, because we did. Everyone saw this coming, but it's still a really cool thing nonetheless. So, with that being said, you're right, lads, Dan here. Welcome back to another video, or should I say, welcome to the second major marathon on this channel. Yeah, we're doing another one. But I guess because we're talking about, well, Mario games, we could call it a Mario-Thon? Okay, I'll shut up. With that being said, I guess we could just stop rambling and jump straight in to the first game on this collection, the first 3D Mario game ever made. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Super Mario 64. Right then, so this is a Mario game. They're not best known for their in-depth plots, but realistically they've never really needed them, and this game's no different. It all starts with Princess Peach sending a letter to Mario inviting him for cake. Yeah, we all know what that really means at this point, let's be honest with ourselves. But upon arriving to the castle, Mario discovers that, oh, shock, horror, she's been kidnapped. How very unexpected. What? And Bowser is using the energy of the Power Stars to travel to the worlds inside the castle's many paintings to do something? I don't know, find more Power Stars, I suppose? Yeah, that's good enough, let's go with that. So now Mario needs to travel to the worlds inside the paintings, recover all 120 Power Stars, beat Bowser, and rescue the princess for the billionth time. So the way this game works is that you explore the 5 major areas of Peach's castle, being the main hall, basement, courtyard, upper floor, and tower, and collect Power Stars in the paintings, which can be attained in many different ways, from simply going from point A to point B, red coin challenges, or even if you meet a special criteria which make the stars appear. And you progress through each objective in the trademark Mario way by running around, jumping, and using your sheer weight to cave in the skull of anything that moves. Alongside that, this is the first Mario game to introduce some series staple moves, like the long jump, backward somersault, and the dive. Not to mention this game, for whatever reason, lets you give enemies the good old left or right goodnight. Yeah, for whatever reason, Mario can actually punch things in this game, and to this day, I still don't really know how to think about it. He hasn't been able to do it in any other game since, and it's so out of place, but you can't help but love it. Oh yeah, and the wall jump is here as well. It's kind of weird though, because in order to pull it off, you need to jump the instant you touch a wall. The timing on it feels almost frame perfect, so it would take a bit of getting used to if it's your first time playing. So then, I figured the best way to talk about this game would be to go through it stage by stage. This was the first 3D Mario game after all. We have a lot of stages to go through, 15 in total, so shall we begin? The first place we get to explore is, of course, Bob-Omb Battlefield. Everyone knows about Bob-Omb Battlefield. It's as iconic as cannibalism on the internet. It's a great introduction to the game. It's not particularly challenging, and the first star is pretty straightforward. Just need to climb the mountain and kill the king of the Bob-Ombs by picking him up and throwing him flat on his bum. Oh yeah, and also, this stage introduces these little areas that, when stood in, Mario just teleports somewhere else. It's okay, I just teleported over there. Next up is Womp's Fortress, so the first star involves you climbing up the fortress and killing the King Womp on top of it. Wait, hang on a second. Why the hell am I doing this again? Nah, I'm kidding, this fight's pretty different, because this time, instead of picking up the boss only to throw it back down again, you wait for King Womp to throw himself on the floor, only to crush him with the force of Mario's polygonal anus, which is something I never thought I'd ever say out loud. Then of course there's Jolly Roger Bay, aka nightmare fuel for 8-year-old me, the level.
Ooh, very scary.
Cool Mountain, this level's pretty decent. Nice and big, plenty of places to slide, and there's even a racing mission with a penguin, which is always fun to do. You can also kill a child.
Toast!
Finally, we've reached our first Bowser encounter, and I don't know what's weirder, the fact that Bowser's face looks like he's been stung by a wasp, or the fact that you defeat him by grabbing him by the tail and throwing him face first into spiky bombs.
Bye-bye.
Wait a second.
Bye.
They got rid of it.
So long, Bowser.
I'm livid. Anyway, so after you defeat Bowser, you get a key to the basement of the castle. To be honest, most of them aren't particularly interesting. You've just got your desert level with lots of quicksand, and your lava level with lots of, well, hazard yourself a guess. But hey, looking on the bright side, at least there's always Hazy Maze Cave. Yeah, I was never a fan of this level. It's ambitious, don't get me wrong, with its branching paths and multiple floors. Hell, it's even the level you unlock the Metal Mario power-up. Oh yeah, by the way, this game has power-ups, being the Wing Cap, Metal Cap, and Invisibility Cap. The Wing Cap letting you fly through each stage, the Metal Cap making you invincible, and the Invisible Cap lets you phase through certain objects and grates. How did I forget to mention these? One of them is literally on the box. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, not a fan of Hazy Maze Cave. And of course, out in the courtyard, you can find Big Boo's haunt. And yep, you can tell just by looking at it, it's a haunted house full of puzzles, traps, and boos that taunt you whenever you kill one. Oh yeah, and also, this level contains a scene so horrifically scary, so terrifyingly unexpected, that it has gone down in history as one of the scariest moments in all of video games. Yeah, that's right. We're going there. We're talking about the piano. Ah! And then after another water level, Dire Docks, probably the blandest level in the game, so I'm not even going to talk about it, we find Bowser once again, and his fight is note for note exactly the same as last time. Except now he just tips the stage a little bit at the beginning. That's it. But either way, I can still do a sick victory dance afterwards. And after this fight, we start to climb the castle, heading up to the upper floor next to, well, follow Bowser, who's headed up to the top of the tower, apparently. Most of these levels, most of them, are actually pretty good. We start off with Snowman's Land, another pretty decent snow level, but this time, as the name would probably suggest, it has a huge snowman that'll blow you away if you don't take cover in time. There's also Wet Dry World, an abandoned sunken town with adjustable water levels, and these little wind-up robot things that when you step on them, you get... Next up is Tall Mountain. This game has an obsession with mountains, doesn't it? Either way, it's still a pretty decent time. It's got these giant mushrooms for some platforming to gather red coins. It's even got a secret slide section. Can't go wrong. There's also Tiny Huge Island. God, this place is weird. As the name would probably suggest, this stage lets you change Mario's size to access certain paths and solve certain puzzles. This level's great because being certain sizes has its own pros and cons. Being huge lets you cover massive ground quickly, and enemies are a joke, but your movement through smaller cracks are limited. And being tiny makes it so you can fit into smaller crevices and walls, but enemies are a bit tougher to deal with. So after all this, you make your way up to the tower for the last 2 levels of this game. One of them, it's pretty damn good. And the other one, it's probably one of the worst Mario levels I've ever played. Tick-tock clock is a pretty good time. The whole level takes place inside of a giant clock, and you need to make your way through by jumping on all of its cogs and hands and whatever else a clock has. It's great and all, but what is with all this fog? I mean, some people say it's the render distance on the N64, but that can't be right, because this level is really narrow. There are much wider stages than this. I don't know what it is. It didn't really hinder my enjoyment at all, but it just makes the stage look a bit ugly compared to the others. It's really strange. Alright, I have to get her at some point. Rainbow Ride, the final major level of this game. This place is huge, to say the least, and it's got to be the most expansive level in this game by a long shot. But the thing is, you don't really get to explore this place very much. You spend most of your time on these on-rail sections on flying carpets, only getting off to do a couple of other platforming challenges that sort of feel thrown together randomly in my books. I get that they were probably made to test your skills from the journey you've just had. In fact, there's this really long wall jumping section in this level, which is so easy to mess up if you don't know what you're doing.
I'm going to fly for you.
I mean, I 100%ed this game for this video, collecting all 120 power stars. I've done it hundreds of times before, and I had no problem with doing it again. Granted, they'll probably be the reason this video comes out a bit late. This is always the level I dread going back to. I never find myself enjoying being here, but it's the last level in the game, so I can take it on the chin. And finally, after one final gauntlet, which involves... Wait, hang on a minute, how the hell are you doing that? We finally meet up with Bowser for one final showdown.
Hello!
And surprise, surprise, it's exactly the same as the other two. Only now the stage slowly collapses as the fight goes on, and Bowser has kind of a rainbow thing going on, so now it takes 3 bombs to take him down instead of 1. I guess you could call that an attempt at a difficulty spike, but he's still horrifically easy, so it doesn't really make that much difference. But after the fight, Bowser is defeated, and the princess is finally saved. Not that that's saying much at this point, this is like the millionth time this has happened. And seeing as I got all 120 power stars, I get a sparkly triple jump. Okay. And I'm now able to shoot up to the roof of the castle where I can find a wing cap power-up and a Yoshi who will talk to me. Mario, that's really you? Wait, what the f... So yeah, that was Super Mario 64, a classic in its own right, and, well, it's obvious why people call this one of the greatest 3D platformers ever made. And me personally, this is one of my favorite games ever made. You honestly can't beat this. But yeah, that's game 1 down in our little Mario-Thon. Next time we're going to be talking about Super Mario Sunshine, so stick around for that. I promise it won't take me a month again. But yeah, that's all I got left for today. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more videos in the near future. So yeah, I'll get started on the next video. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next video of mine. Take care.